Hey, so just let's talk about this young lady who made $735,000 last year with her own business. Now, look, I want to put some caveats out there. This is not an overnight success. Too often, people will take a look at someone who's successful or doing something that they themselves want to do, and that person that they're looking at will have been doing whatever the hell it is for 10 years, and you won't see the hard work. You'll just see the result. So now it didn't take this young lady 10 years to make $735,000, but it was not, again, it's not overnight. So let's get into some ways that in these times you can go out there and start to build an income separate and apart from a job, because we've already gone over at great length the fact that companies are downsizing. We know that prices are going up. We know that interest rates are going up. We know that you've got a lot of pressure financially, and you still have to acquire assets, okay? So now I'm not suggesting anyone go out tomorrow, stand on top of their boss's desk and say, take this job and you know what you can do with it. In fact, you may want to be in a position to incorporate some of the things you'll hear today with what you already do if you work a job or if you have a business now, okay? There's nothing wrong with multiple streams of income. And certainly if you believe that your position may be on the chopping block, then you got to act fast, right? Also, if you have an entrepreneurial spirit and you just say a job doesn't work for me anymore, I need to do something different, then this is the place that you want to be. All right, let's start out with something that I've talked about. Now, we're going to talk about the woman that made $735,000 last year. But before we get to that, let's talk about another way that you can save money. Now, I want to caution you, saving money is not a way to build wealth. And the reason for that is because there's only so much money you can save, okay? So saving is... and when I say saving, please don't misconstrue that as meaning get a savings account. We've talked about the perils of that. They actually make you poorer.
With your broke ass.
When I say saving, I'm just talking about recapturing money so that you can put it to work for you. All right, and one of the ways to do that is on all these subscription services, okay? There's a service. Now, and nothing I talk about today is sponsoring us, okay? And if I talk about one service, then you can best believe there are at least half a dozen more that do the same thing. So you can do your due diligence and find the one that's right for you if you decide these are some things that you want to do. Now, trim up to $720 from your bills with the budgeting app that does it all. There is a budgeting app that will help you. It's called Rocket Money. Rocket Money is something that you just put all of these subscription services in, and it's going to allow you to see what you're paying for them. Canceling at random, it was just a free trial subscription. You signed up for it 2 years ago. You forgot about it. I've done it. That's hell in internet form. And every month that goes by with needless subscriptions means more money draining your pockets. Now, the beauty of it for the subscription service is, maybe they're just taking $5. You don't even feel it, okay, because it's such a minuscule amount. But for them, okay, if they're doing this times 1 million people a month, okay, so and look at the flip side of that also. Maybe there's a subscription service that you want to start, okay? We're kind of going to get into something like that in just a moment. But they're calling these companies sneaky companies like it this way. I don't know about that. It's your responsibility to understand what you're paying for. If you sign up with, let's say, Hulu, okay, and you forget you've got it, that's not Hulu's fault. So, a lot of these writers are young people, and the trend in some young people in America today is to make everything someone else's fault. You signing up for subscription is not the company's fault. But if you remember you've got it, you no longer use it, then Rocket Money will help you identify it so that you can recoup that money. It's like your personal financial guardian in app form. Just connect your bank account to Rocket Money. Oh, this is cool. Rocket Money finds all your recurring subscriptions. So it goes out there and it looks for them for you. Canceling the ones you don't need anymore. They'll even negotiate lower rates on your monthly bills like phone and internet. Rocket Money gives you a full view of your financial life in a single screen, from income to spending to savings. What you got to do, though, is remember to cancel Rocket Money when you no longer need it. I'm not sure how they make their money. If that's a subscription, you'll have to look into it for yourself. And again, shop around if that interests you. Okay, so that's a way to save some money. Now let's talk about how to make some money. Now, we just talked about the subscription piece, okay? If you have a special skill, something that people find entertaining, I would encourage you to get that out there to the world. Now, of course, we are interacting here on a YouTube channel. Now, let me tell you something about the Soldiers of Finance channel. We're politically incorrect at times, not all the time, and we talk about a subject that is, it's not quite as exciting as what the Kardashians might be doing, okay? Believe it or not. So we're not going to, this genre of kind of YouTube channel is not as popular as some others. And that's fine. This is what I do. This is my passion. What's yours? Is it something that you believe people would find interesting, entertaining, informative, or all three? If so, then put yourself out there. Maybe start a YouTube channel. Don't judge your success by anyone else's, okay? You might get on YouTube and be someone who is great at telling jokes. Maybe you know how to cook a certain type of food. The food channels do gangbusters on YouTube. I'm subscribed to quite a few of them. Maybe you have a talent for teaching people how to play an instrument, or maybe you just play an instrument, okay? I'm telling you, that I was watching a YouTube channel. Somebody sent me a video the other day of a guy just driving down North Avenue. North Avenue is a major street in Baltimore City, bisects the city. And he was just driving down a street I've driven down 1,000 times. And I watched like half his video. And I'm like, oh, there's that. Oh, I didn't know that was there. Okay, so it was interesting to me. And the guy had quite a few subscribers. I'm sure he's making a decent amount of money off of YouTube. Now, the other way you can play that is, again, if you have a talent or a skill or a passion and you're able to figure out a way to teach that, then you can situate yourself to be a teacher, have a class on whatever platform. There's a platform. There's actually a platform that we're going to be using here soon, because we are going to, the Soldiers of Finance platform is going to start giving classes on how to understand the stock market. And these aren't just going to be classes. There's going to be a lot of practical information that comes out of it. It's going to be a lot of application. You're not going to leave this class with just, having taken some tests and, a head full of knowledge that you're trying to, collate. No, you're going to leave with actionable intelligence. You're going to leave that class owning, some stocks that you selected on your own because you went through the class and you know how to evaluate stocks fundamentally in order to meet your objectives. So we're putting that together. It's going to come out later on in the year, probably debut in January. And we're using a platform called Thinkific. Where did you get these names from? Thinkific.com. You can go check them out. Again, they're not sponsoring us. And I'm sure there are other platforms that would allow you to do the same thing they do. But that's the platform we're going to be working through to set up these classes. And they're going to be great. We're going to have more information coming out about them. So if you or someone you know is interested in understanding how to evaluate stocks fundamentally, the history of the market, the intricacies of the market, and being able to use that knowledge to go out and endeavor in the stock market, confidently, then this is a class for you. So if you've got a passion, if you've got a talent, if you've got a skill, maybe you've got all three, then hey, look, I watched a video today about a man who was fixing a certain type of dish, all right? And he said, listen, we go deep. We've got classes that are going to really just teach you how to kind of be a chef, okay? And he pointed to his platform. You've got Masterclass out there. Now, I don't know if you've heard of Masterclass. I always chuckle when they put up certain people at Masterclass, like Paul Krugman. They put him up there like he's the best thing since sliced bread. Paul Krugman has been wrong so often that I wouldn't believe him if he said the sky's blue. But hey, I guess some people feel differently. Paul Krugman, he's an economist, and he will be giving a master class, or he's in the process of doing it. You can go out there and look for it if he's someone you like. It ain't free, though. Got to pay for it. So I encourage you, sit down, figure out whether or not you have something that the world needs, that the world wants. The world is literally your oyster. I always say this little teeny tiny YouTube channel, Soldiers of Finance, subscribe please. It reaches a global audience. We literally have subscribers on every continent in dozens of countries. It's amazing to me. Where would I have gone back in the early 90s when I first got started to reach a global audience? Nowhere, because I didn't have the money to do it. All you need now is a cell phone, okay, and an internet connection. And you can literally reach the world. Monetize that. Sit down, create a list, and start thinking about the things that you have to offer. And don't feel guilty about charging people for what you have, okay? Let's say you, God forbid, break your leg tonight, okay? A hairline fracture, not compound, nothing serious. But if you go to urgent care, they're going to send you a bill at some point. You're going to have to pay for that because they've got a skill that you need, that you want. So don't feel any compunction about that. Charge. Wherever you work, they're charging somebody. Otherwise, unless you work for the government, then they're charging us, the taxpayer, because otherwise you wouldn't get a paycheck. All right, now let's get to this young lady that I was talking about earlier, who actually went out and was able to generate $735,000 by doing something you're just not going to believe it. 44-year-old mom of three made $735,000 last year, 2021, from a reselling business she launched using just the clothes in her closet. Monica Mejia, 44, was a stay-at-home mom when she began reselling on Poshmark in 2015. She earned $735,000 last year selling on social media live streams and through brand partnerships. She's confident others can have similar success, but she wants people to know it doesn't happen overnight. Like we were saying, it takes a little time. But you can compress that time depending on how much energy you're willing to put into something, how much focus, how much brain power you put into it. So if you got a spouse who's on that same page as you, if you got kids, you start incorporating, more human beings into something, there's no limit to how fast you can do something big. Before 2015, Monica Mejia was a full-time mom, taking care of her three kids. Now, the 44-year-old Houston-based mom boasts an income of $735,000 for 2021, according to documents verified by Insider, selling new and used clothing, home goods, and toys on social media. Check this out. I love to go to Goodwill. That's right. I love to go to Goodwill because I find classic men's clothes. I think that the mid to late 50s, to me, was a golden era of clothing. And I especially like the British styles, okay? Oh, man, they just got it so right. So I have actually found some incredible blazers, trench coats in thrift stores like Goodwill. So this lady selling items that have been used before, but one person's trash is another person's treasure. That has certainly been true for me. I am a clothes horse. I like to look good. I take those items out of Goodwill. I alter them, get them altered to my specifics, and boom.
Yeah, baby.
Keep it moving for less. She says she's never invested a single dollar out of pocket into her business. Starting with just the clothes in her closet, she later used her earnings to purchase additional inventory to sell at a markup. So look around your house. What have you got that you believe, you haven't seen it in years? My wife has got a bunch of shoes. Imelda Marcos type thing, okay? I'm going to talk to her about what this woman did, and maybe we can make some money off of that stuff. Because my wife has got shoes in closets, and she hasn't even been in the closet in years, let alone looked at the shoes. She says, Miss Mejia says, when I talk about everything that we've gone through, I'm still shocked about it from where we came from to now. Mejia is one of millions of Americans who are finding ways to make ends meet without relying on a traditional 9-to-5 job. U.S. workers filed over 5 million new business applications in 2021, the most since 2005. A 2021 Upwork study found that 59 million Americans, or 36% of the U.S. workforce, had performed freelance work over the prior 12 months. Others, like Mejia, have found ways to start businesses of their own. While these lifestyles are not without their challenges, of course, everything has a challenge to it, they provided some Americans the opportunity to finally get ahead financially. So you're seeing what we talk about on this channel quite often in action. You're seeing this woman. She has transformed her life because she has built a business. And guess what? You can do it too. You got to be focused, though. You got to be diligent. It's not like a job where you can just get up at 5 o'clock, leave, and forget about it, okay? I'm just giving you the straight up honest viewpoint of someone who's owned several businesses. All right. Now, you do want to leverage your business. You don't want to be the owner of a McDonald's who is, 10 years later in there frying burgers. Okay. No, you want to own several and several other things and have multiple streams of income, and you are, doing other things. Like, for example, with me, we've also got this thing in my business where we started to incentivize our clients by donating in their names to highly vetted charities that help people in developing nations start local economies, okay? All of this stuff is very, very close to my heart. I know that someone took time with me when I was very young to give me an epiphany with regard to how stocks worked. And from that point on, I've just been interested in it. I've been interested in helping people understand it. And I want our mission in this company, my company, to go global and help people all around the world. Okay, I'm very serious about that. In 2015, Mejia's family was in need of additional income to supplement her husband's pay. It was a really hard time, she said. You don't know where we didn't know where we were going to eat. When her sister introduced her to the reseller platform, Poshmark, she began selling a few items from her closet. She remembers her first sale, a dress, which sold for $36 after 11 hours. When she began listing more items, she noticed that, quote, everything was selling really quickly, unquote, and real money was trickling in. And I know that that was a good feeling for her because she probably said to herself, I can do this. I can make this happen, okay? 2 years in, Mejia's husband had open heart surgery and wasn't able to work. The responsibility fell on her to support the family, and she took her efforts to another level. So from this diversity, this woman really just skyrocketed. Mejia branched out to other reselling platforms. She says the $100 to $200 she was earning per week turned into $1,000, translating to nearly $50,000 in total earnings her first year. Okay, so she had that incentive because unfortunately her husband got ill, but she turned it up, man, and she's ruling the day now. It wasn't until roughly a year ago, however, when she started selling on live streams through Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook that her business really took off. While she earned $23,000 through Poshmark last year, for example, she says social media is where the bulk of her income now comes from. Her husband's health has, thank God, improved since, but rather than going back to his job, he now helps his wife keep up with their thriving business. That's what I was talking about. The spouse is being linked there and of one mind in pushing what really works further, because they know that he ain't making $735,000 on his job, nowhere close to it. Together, they now own a home, and they've paid off in full that home and have sent two children to college without student loans. Okay, so guys, that's it in a nutshell. All right, go out there, look for opportunities. You're going to need to do that as this economy evolves. In the best of times, you don't have a say in whether or not you stay employed, more than likely. Your company could be doing great, but then they could decide they're getting up and they're going to move to another part of the country. And you can come with them, but if you don't, then okay, oh well. It's been nice knowing you. Okay, guys, watch this video. We're talking about one of the major industries in the country, in the world, transportation, and how the transportation industry is getting ready to have a threefold perfect storm that is going to raise inflation for everything we buy. Check it out, guys. I'll talk to you soon.